Hello and welcome to another Flask video tutorial. In this video I'm going to cover navigation within a web application. Now so far if I wanted to navigate to a different page, I've had to type out directly which route I want to go to. So if I want to go to the names page, I type out /names and I'm going to it straight away. If I want to go to /home/Hussein, I type that out directly and there we go. I'm on these pages in particular. These routes are coming from my Flask web application I've set up from previous videos. From a user experience standpoint, this is very tedious. I don't want to be remembering different URLs and typing them out directly to go to a different page. That's very tedious and difficult as well. It's because I have to remember so many different routes. Now instead, I want to do something like this. If I want to go, here's a page for example. If I want to go to JavaScript, instead of me typing out the route directly for JavaScript, which in this case I don't even know, I tap out JavaScript or click JavaScript, and there we go. I render to a new page, new content with the route changing as well. So I don't need to remember that, I just need to click on the button. So if I want to go SQL, click on it, and there we go. Common sense usage, it's used on every single website you can think of, and how it's done is by using the HTML A tag. The HTML A tag, written as so, takes in the href to the particular URL you want to go to, and in between the the tags is the text that's displayed within the link. So let's try to use this to implement the feature from going from our home page to the /names page. Okay, that seems simple enough. Let's go to index.html because that's what's being rendered by the route. Here's index.html. Let's make our first hyperlink. So let's type in the A tag and now let's specify the href. I want to go to /names because that's what the page we want to go to, and the text we'll put in is go to names. Okay, let's refresh our page, not this page, refresh this page. And there we go, go to names. Just to make it more clear, let's wrap it around in heading tags. So we've got a H1, so it's nice and bolded up. It's purple as well. It might not be purple on your end. I think it's purple because I've already visited this particular link. So if I click on it now, I've gone to /names. Let's do one more route just to illustrate the point further. Instead of names, let's go to /home/Hussein. Change the text to go to Hussein. Let's go back to our home page and click on go to Hussein, and there we go. So a new link has been added, and I click on it, I go to that page. Okay, this works fine, except for the fact that I'm hard coding URL, which is a bad practice in terms of writing your templates. The main reason for this is I could be referencing this particular URL in different places, and for example, I might want to change the name of that particular URL. I might want to change it from /names to /names/ something else. So or I might want to change it just removing an S, so /name. The content may stay the same, so I might render the same stuff. I just want to change the name of the particular URL, which is a very common thing to do, especially when you're designing or developing your web page. Now, let's go to. Now, this is a problem, and this is why, in general, it's a bad practice to hardcode URL. What doesn't change, as I mentioned before, is the content, or in other words, this particular function. So I still render the same template. My function name is still the same. Just this will change from names to name, for example. So what I really want is I can instead give it the name of the function for this particular route, the view function, give it the name, and the URL is generated for me. Okay, so I can change this as much as I want as long as I have the name of the function, the URL is generated for me. And to do that, we use the Flask function URL4. So coming from the Flask module. And this works by taking in as a parameter the name of a view function, so in other words these functions, and they will render out the respective URL. So in this case, this will return to me just the root route because that's what's defined over here. If I was to change this to, let's say, /root directly, then this would return /root for me. Let's do one more example just to illustrate the point. So in this case, this will do this one. So if I wanted names, then I type out the names directly. And this will return to me this route, so /names. Okay, so it's important to remember, because we're using the same name for both of these, so names and names, you might confuse and say this takes in the URL name, but it doesn't. It takes in the function name. Now, how do we do stuff like variable routing? Well, it's very simple as well. Let's type in URL for. The function name is home underscore name. And to specify the variable, we'll just pass it in as a parameter. So in this case, it's name. Make sure it's the same name as this. And we'll make that equal to whatever we want to render. So in this case, Hussein. So this will give us slash home slash Hussein. Okay, now how do we use this within our templates? Well, it's a function, so we can't directly type it out. We have to wrap it around in double braces, URL for, because that's what's, and this will be executed by Ginger. Now we just put in, as we saw from before, so if you want to go slash names, we just type in directly names, close the function, and close the double braces. And make sure that you're using different quotations. So if you're using double quotations here, make sure you're using single quotes in here. Okay, let's save that. Let's go back to our page, refresh, go to names. It works fine. So nothing has changed. If we actually look at the page source, then we can see that the route has also not changed. Now let's illustrate the point one more time. Let's say I want to change the name of the route directly. So instead of names, I want to go names 1, 2, 3. That still works fine. Refresh, go to names, and there we go. Names 1, 2, 3 has appeared. So everywhere I might have used names 1, 2, 3, I no longer have to go and change all those routes. I just need to change one place, and because I'm using URL for, it just works. Now let's do it for this example down here. Double curly braces URL for, not single quotes. And remember, the name of the function is what we need to specify. So home name, and then the parameter is the variable, the exact way you've written it over here. So in this case, we put name is equal to, in single quotes, Hussein. Okay, let's space it out just to make it more clear. Refresh, click on it, and there we go, home slash Hussein. And if I go back over here, view page source, I can see that slash home slash Hussein has been written. And that's really it for navigation within Flask. I always recommend to use URL for, even if you know that the route won't change. It's just generally good practice, and it's very useful as well. You don't need to rely on hard coding your routes everywhere. And that's all. That's it for this video, and I'll see you in future videos.